Hello Sangha, let's begin with Shanti, 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 trying to cultivate a feeling of peace, like so that bhava that I spoke about in the earlier part of the month. Bhava means to cultivate, to encourage, so we're trying to cultivate a sense of Shanti, a sense of peace, as we chant the mantra Shanti, okay? Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Nice. So today we're going to look at feet and do some movement with our feet, some strengthening of our feet, some dexterity of our feet. One of the biggest changes in my own practice was when I really started to focus on the strength and the dexterity of my feet, and increasing the balance that they could create. So let's just bring one foot out in front today and just see how that feels. And you can use your hands around it if you want, just to work with it. And we're going to lift up all the toes of that foot. And we're going to see if we can put our big toe down and up. Okay, so you just touch the ground, you lift it up, touch the ground, lift it up. Now it might not do that. And if it doesn't, just use your fingers to help. And then you're going to try the same with your little toe. So your little toe comes down and up, down and up, down and up. Okay. I really promise you, like, this time is not it's not futile time. It's really time well spent working on your feet. So little toe down and up. If it doesn't move the way you want to do, just use your fingers and encourage it. And then you can go between the two, your big toe and your little toe, big toe, little toe. You go between the two. Now, some people hate feet, but what Leonardo da Vinci said was that the foot is a masterpiece of engineering and a work of art. Okay, and he was kind of smart guy. So big toe down, little toe down, if you can, and then the three middle toes coming down and up. Okay, so you can try that. This is trickier. This is, holding these two down and letting the three middle toes come down up is hard. Okay, so let's give that foot a rub. Little massage, and then let's switch to the other side. Okay, so other foot forward, bringing up all your toes. This might be completely different to the first side. And the big toe goes down and up. Okay. And if that feels okay, try the little toe. Down and up. Again, use your fingers if that's helpful. And then big toe and little toe, big toe and little toe. You might find your hands doing weird things when you start to do stuff with your feet. So big toe down, little toe down, big toe down, little toe down. And then both big toe and little toe down. Okay, again, use your hands if that's helpful. And your three middle toes come down and up. Okay. Good. And then give that foot a little rub. If you get a little cramp in your feet, don't worry about that. It's kind of normal. Let's bring the first foot out again. And this time have all 5 toes on the floor. And just let your big toe come up. So this was, for me, the one that took a long time. I remember the day I made it happen. But I've been trying for 18 months, I think, actually, to let this happen. But you just have to map the movement. It is possible. You just have to take your time. So big toe down and up. And then slowly peel the big toe up. Then the next toe. Then the next toe. Then the next toe. And then the pinky toe. Okay, and go the same the way down. So you're doing a very slow progression. Backwards and forwards. Backwards and forwards. Good. And big toe up and down just a couple more times. Great, and then let's switch to the other side. And keep your Spread your toes, okay? Keep 5 toes flat, and then bring your big toe up. Okay. And sometimes you find other things in your body moving as you try to do things like this. So big toe down and up. And hold it up and slowly peel to the next one. To the next one, I don't know if you see in the camera, but I've got a little middle toe that is shorter than it should be. And then the other one, and then the final one. And then same in the way back. So slowly down and slowly across. Working with your feet. Good. Good. And then bring the soles of your feet together and just let your toes separate and touch, separate and touch. And we'll come back to that at the end. Okay, so from there, let's stand up and we'll do some strengthening for our feet. Okay, so give everything a good shake off. Before we get more into our feet, let your feet rest, turn your palms out, and you reach up with your hands, clasp your hands, push them towards the sky, and lean one way, back to the center and the other way. Okay, lean one way, back to the center and the other way. Now as you lean one way, try and let the weight fall through the opposite foot. So if you're leaning to the left, lean to the right. If you're leaning to the left, lean to the right. If you're leaning to the left, let your weight fall through the right foot. And then the other way. Okay. And one more time maybe. So the weight's got to go through the opposite foot of the way you're leaning. The outside edge of that foot. And that gives you a bit more bending, and then shake off. And then shake off both legs. Good. Point your feet forward. Let your hands come together. Thumbs towards your heart. Heels go up. And heels go down. Heels raise up and down. Try and squeeze the heels towards each other. So you're not allowing them to flail out to the sides. They're coming straight up and straight down. Good. And then place your right foot forward. And make a little doming action with your foot. So you're drawing it in, making a doming shape. And then from there, what you want to do is make that same doming shape, but keep your toes on the floor and this pad here on the floor and draw them towards each other. So you're drawing the pad underneath here and your heel towards each other. Okay, so you feel like you're strengthening the core of your foot. And actually I'll put a link to a podcast from like 10, 12 years ago in the notes about why it's good to strengthen the core of your foot. Okay, so you're making a dome shape, you're drawing it in. You might feel the muscles work underneath the sole of your foot, and then try the same on the other side, okay? So if it goes forward, make the big dome initially, allowing your foot to lift. So you just feel that action, the toes get involved. And then you do it, we're just drawing the foot up. So the arch of your foot draws away from the floor, okay? Draws away and draws away. Good. Drawing that in. Okay, so it's really good to do that with your feet. Take your feet a little wider. Bend your knees, sink your hips, and make that same doming action with your feet. Not too intense, just like engaging underneath the arches. So the arches lift. So the arches are not collapsing. You're not letting your knees collapse in. Your knees are going wide, and you're lifting the arch and the dome of your foot. And from here, get nice and loose. Shake off one way, shake off the other way. Good. Gently rocking from side to side. Good. Bring your palms together and see if you can let your heels go up and your heels go down. Okay, your heels lift and your heels go down. Good. Working here. And then push into the floor, straighten all the way up. Step in with both feet and give your arms and your legs a good shake off. Let's do a little bit more with your feet. Okay, so right foot slightly forward, left foot slightly back. So it's kind of level or just behind your heel. and roll your toes backwards and forwards. You might get little clicks and pops in your toes here. Good. And then keep the 4 small toes back and flick your big toe forward. Good. And roll them forwards and backwards again. This time keep your big toe back and flick your 4 smaller toes forward. And you can kind of move into this a little bit. Good. And then roll them backwards and forwards again. See how that feels for you. And then let that foot rest and try the other side. So you're rolling your toes forwards and backwards. Again, you might get those little clicks and pops as you get into all the little tendons and ligaments around your foot. Keep the 4 small toes back and flick your big toe forward. Moving it around a little bit. So this might be a practice you come back to again and again, because you might take a while, months, years, even to master your feet. Keep the big toe back, flick your 4 small toes forward, and move into this a little bit. Good. And then shake off that foot and shake off this foot. Get nice and loose. Anything you need to do that feels good for you. Okay, let's start towards the back of our mat and do a practice like we did the other day. So reach your arms out in front and bend your knees and sink your hips. So you're sinking into Utkatasana. If your heels come up, keep your heels up and maybe reach your arms up. If you're somebody whose heels will come flat here, let them come flat. And if you're somebody who likes a little cushion, like me, underneath, you can sink down into Utkatasana this way. Okay, so from here, let your arms relax. You're going to lift your weight forward and let your knees come down to rest onto the floor with your toes tucked underneath. Okay, and that might feel okay. It might feel, a little intense. So take 1 foot forward and then out to the side and sink back down again into one side at a time with your toes tucked underneath. Take this foot forward and let's just do a little bit for our arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, go wide and sink your hips. Inhale, come up, a little bit back. Exhale, come forward, frame your foot, bend your knee a little more and then drift your weight back. Bend your knee a bit more, drift your weight back. Good. Inhale, reach all the way up and shake off. Okay. Step in with this foot, tuck underneath the sets of toes of each foot, sinking into this. Good, seeing how that feels. And then take the other foot out a little wider, sinking your hips down, maybe doing a little lunge out to the side, maybe your foot out to the side, and sinking down with your toes tucked underneath. So some people this is really comfortable, some people not so much. Taking your feet forward, and maybe untuck the back toes or keep them tucked under, whatever feels good for you. Inhale, reach up with both arms. Exhale, wide and sink your hips. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, forward, frame your foot. Okay. This time, step back with your front foot. Tuck underneath the toes of each foot. Move your hips back towards your heels and let your heels go back and down into downward facing dog. Pedal out one side and the other side. Come up on your toes. Take a jump into your hands. And sink your hips down into Malasana, into a squat. Let your elbows come to rest on your knees and take your knees from side to side. All this stuff is just freeing up the tightness and resistance in our feet. Okay, so our feet are so important to keep them strong and mobile. What Pete Blackaby says, and I'll try and if I remember, put the quote in the notes below, is that feet die first. Okay, and that gradually progresses up through the rest of your body as we age. Good. Let your hips rest on your heels, bring the soles of your feet together. There's loads of stuff we can do with feet. We could spend the whole month working on feet. And make your peace fingers Bring them between your big toes and second toes and lean back. Okay, send your right foot out to the side. Bring it back in. Send your left foot out to the side. Bring it back in. And it feels okay, do both feet out to the side. Maybe looking up, sending your heels away. Good. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let them rest together. Let your hands just support your ankles. And see if you can separate just your big toes and nothing else. So just your big toes. Separate. And nothing else. And then see if you can separate each toe individually one at a time. And let them come back together one at a time. So they slowly separate. And they slowly connect. Slowly separate. And gradually connect. Okay, and then give your feet a good rub. Okay, give them a little massage. Rub the top, rub the sole. Okay, so you can touch your nose and your toes. Okay, there's loads of other stuff we'll do. We'll do a bit more with feet actually later in the month because there's a few other things I wanted to get in today, but we've not had time to do them. So this side, give a little rub. Okay, really worth it, you know, like really worth taking care of your feet. Okay, let's find our seated position for today and continue with our alternate nostril breathing practice. So we'll try at least one round of the whole practice this time, but making it really easy, okay? So let your hands rest, lengthen through your spine, and just observe your breath, okay? And we're going to imagine it before we actually do the physical practice. So as you inhale, focus on the left nostril. And as you exhale, focus on the right nostril. As you inhale, focus on the right nostril. And as you exhale, focus on the left nostril. So that's one round, okay? Now we'll do it and we'll control it with our hands. If it's too uncomfortable to block your nostrils, just do it the way we did it there. Inhale, imagining the focus is on your left nostril, and then the right nostril as you exhale, and then inhale right, exhale left, okay? So let's, if you're comfortable with it, make Mrigi Mudra. Close off your left nostril and take an inhale. Close off your left nostril and take an exhale. Inhale through your right nostril. Exhale through your left. Inhale through your left. Exhale through your right. Inhale through your right. You can go faster or slower than this, whatever works for you. And exhale through your left. Same process. Inhale through your left. Exhale through your right. And then take a few breaths normally. And if you feel lightheaded or uncomfortable or like that was suffocating, please take the steps back. And don't worry about the physical part of it, just do the mental part. But allow yourself to focus on your breath. And we'll finish how we started with Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And we'll do that 3 times. You can point your hands to your heart or rest them on your heart or on your abdomen or on your thighs, wherever feels comfortable for you. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Connect your fingertips to the base of your palms for Anjali Mudra. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you, everybody. It's day 20. Tomorrow is a meditation, so be a 10-minute meditation where we'll use Nadi Shodhana to get us in a state where our mind is a little clearer and a little steadier and a little calmer. And and then day 22 we'll do a bedtime practice. So we haven't done one of them this year yet. So thank you very much. I hope you are getting through okay, getting through the month okay. I know it's a hard month. It's it's quite a sad month for some people. So hopefully you're not feeling too sad. Hopefully this is helpful. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments. If you have any observations, let me know in the comments. Take it easy, you know. It's not a race. There's no prizes for getting through things too quickly. See you tomorrow for day 21.